Thank you very much. And my greetings and best wishes to the Center for Governance Studies and all the distinguished participants. We are now in the 15th year of our independence, and the country is moving ahead. We have strong potentials to move ahead faster and to achieve higher levels of growth and move towards further development. The 8th five-year plan has been launched, and we have also the perspective plan ahead of us that envisions our move from the upper middle income, from our developing country status, then on to the higher income status in 2041. Now, you have asked me to speak on governance side of development. Governance, as we all know, is a moving target. It's very difficult to measure governance at any specific point of time. But certainly, governance is a key tool and ingredient of development. Governance accelerates development. Governance facilitates development and strengthens the opportunities and avenues of development. I would just rather here emphasize that we have come a long way. We had stable and sustained economic growth. And side by side with our inclusive growth, we are also working on reducing poverty and inequalities, and this is extremely important for the long-term sustainability of our inclusive growth strategy. I will just mention some of the things that I think are necessary for strengthened governance, which is, I think, these things are ongoing, and it's an ongoing process. As I said, it's a moving target that has to be always looked into, and there are always opportunities and avenues for improvements in governance. One of the main things would be institutional strengthening, strengthening the efficiency of institutions that are engaged in development. The other aspect would be program effectiveness for every sector of growth. The programs that you have, to make sure that these are results-oriented and the objectives are effectively achieved. There you need the overall effort of the institutions as well as all those stakeholders who are involved in that. The other element of improved governance is decentralization, delegation of authority, and decentralization not in the literal sense of term only, but in the effective implementative sense of term. And this may mean the decentralization of authority, the centralization of the roles and functions at different stages. I won't go into the details because it's itself a huge topic. The next element of improved governance would be stronger economic surveillance and improved monitoring, and to see that implementation is on track, implementation in terms of resources, in terms of the implementation of activities and programs, that you see you move to the next step with a very significant achievement in the track that you have already passed through. The other thing I'd like to mention is stakeholder engagement, broadened, exhaustive, extensive stakeholder engagement. In one of my recent papers, I mentioned it would be good if there could be citizens advisory committees for the different ministries. So, there could be, this is meant to have expert opinion and citizens' opinion for all segments of development activity. That would strengthen, as I appreciate here that we find now the parliamentary standing committees are now more active in the last 10 years or so. And so, along with that, we would expect that citizens and stakeholders should have a more active role in giving expert opinion. The other thing is to have greater accountability not in the theoretical sense of term, but there should be accountability in terms of fixing responsibility for lapses and deficiencies, and also incentives for specific achievements, for gains. Thereby you have a specific yardstick, a measurement of identifying the tools that are needed for further improvement of governance. And having said that, I would just like to mention here, I know that you are running out of time, but at the moment, due to the COVID pandemic, we have to especially look at the governance instruments, because As we are all aware, the IMF has mentioned that the global economy will shrink by 4.5% in 2021. GDP growth in South Asia region will be around 2.5 to 3%, and the WTO has said that global trade will shrink by 25%. International Labour Organization has said that there will be loss of about 200 million full-time jobs, and there could be this number could also substantially, go up mainly in Asia and also, beyond Asia. UNCTAD has said that foreign direct investment will shrink by about 15%, and it might, for this year, it might go, the figure might move up to 25%. Due to lockdowns and the tremendous decline in oil prices, global remittances will reduce by 30%. Now, my objective of saying is that we have, so far our economy is doing well, but we need to keep track that we have to especially focus on improved performance and improve governance to make sure that our growth targets, as envisioned in our 8-5-year plan and also in our overall development strategy, is well managed, and things that move forward. We have to take extra precaution to cushion the economy from external economic shocks, as well as to see that the resilient measures that has been taken to meet the necessary requirements. Here, I'd like to mention about the 1997 Asian financial crisis and the global recession in 2009, following which most countries in the Southeast Asia region have taken strong measures of economic surveillance. So I would emphasize on strong monitoring to see that the programs, including the stimulus packages and all the other programs, are effectively implemented. We have certain strengths. Our debt GDP ratio is reasonably under control. It's as low as 34%. We have extended loan facilities to the commercial banks at subsidized rates for affected industries, and we are trying to support the business and also the stimulus packages. And we are also expanding, and I think the social safety nets need to be specially looked at, especially in this year's budget and beyond. And though our export earnings and remittances are reasonably
Dr.
good, foreign
Parvez,
exchange
if you
are
could
stable,
finish
but
in
we
1 minute,
monitor
please.
these so that the trends remain forward side. Sorry, thanks for your time. Thank you.